before heading into the race. Obviously, I'm going to cover the main points during this briefing, but if you do want anything else clarifying, you can find it in our rulebook, and I have posted a link to that in the driver briefing chat. Please ensure that throughout the entire race today, the starting driver on SimGrid should be the one to load the car. This means that if you have a disconnect or we have a server crash or anything like that, make sure that all drivers have left the server and the starting driver joins the server and loads the car. Even if someone is spectating and the starting driver joins, that spectating driver will no longer be able to race with the team. So please make sure that you are doing it correctly, as we will not be doing any restarts to fix those issues. For the best chances of server stability, please make sure that you keep the number of drivers connected down. There's a slightly small grid today, so it's not a biggest problem. But ideally, you just have your driver and then one or two other people connected to the server. We don't want any server crashes today, so please keep that in mind. Moving on to qualifying, there is plenty of time for qualifying today. It's a half-an-hour session, so please take your time to find some space to set a lap. It is an endurance race, it's 12 hours long, and there is donation penalties as well, so qualifying is not the most important part of today. Our rules do state that if there is the driver's responsibility to find a suitable window to set your flying lap, as overtaking another driver who is on a flying lap will be penalised if it is caught. This means that priority is always given to drivers who are currently on flying laps. This means that drivers on out laps, in laps, or invalidated laps are expected to give way and not impede. By that, we mean preferably on a straight, you pull off of the racing line gently using an indicator if you have it bound to let that faster driver through by just gently letting off your throttle and making it clear that you are allowing them past. You wouldn't want to be caught up on your own qualifying lap, so please try not to catch up other people. There are harsh penalties in place for qualifying incidents, so please don't risk it and just be aware of everyone else and please take care. Moving on to lap 1, the focus of this race is obviously not the first lap. It is almost guaranteed that you're not going to win the race here, particularly on the first corner. Expect to start braking much earlier than usual. Stick to your columns and pull through the first few corners carefully. It is quite a tight turn 1 here, so like I said, expect to start braking a little bit earlier. And of course, when you're heading up the hill after that, it gets quite tight. So please make sure that you are leaving enough room to other drivers throughout that section. If you have to restart the race for any reason, I'll post a message in the in-game chat and the race will be restarted. If you don't see a message in the in-game chat about a restart, there will not be one, so don't ask. You won't get one by asking. If the stewards don't do a restart, that is because they expect the same to happen after a restart, or there wasn't enough cars involved for us to trigger a restart. Let's not spend the entire time doing the formation lap today, please. So please take care on lap 1. This race does have full live stewarding. The entire 12 hours will be stewarded live. Any and all contacts which are picked up by ACC race control will be reviewed and penalties will be applied during the race. Decisions which are made during the race are not final. You do have a window after the race to appeal or open a new incident report regarding anything that may have not been picked up or anything that you want to appeal, for example blocking, blue flags or qualifying incidents, etc. We'll post the replay files for your convenience. Please make use of them. They will be posted to the Endurance Series announcement channel. You can view the penalties that have been given out live. That is on the ACM website at acm-racing.com/stewarding. The incidents will appear there. You can click on an incident and you can view all the details like a replay time, who was involved, what penalty was given, and the time penalty which goes towards it. So please make use of the website. And of course, mistakes can happen during stewarding. So in situations where there are multiple cars involved, there may not be enough time to review everything in detail. We apologise for this and just ask that if you feel a mistake has been made, open a ticket to get it re-reviewed or get it appealed. We can always reverse any penalties given. Tickets that are made go through the entire stewarding team, so you are more likely to get a full stewarding response rather than incidents which are done live. So you make use of that system, and of course you do have the website to review all of the verdicts that have happened should you need to see them. If it has been 3 laps and you do not see a contact on the website, open a ticket. ACC race control does become quite inaccurate further into the race, so if you have had contact and it isn't on the website but you want it stewarded, just open a ticket and we can get it reviewed. This race has no mandatory pit stops, but it does have a 65-minute stint timer. This means that the car has to enter the pit lane every 65 minutes. If you don't enter the pit lane within 65 minutes, that is a drive-through penalty, which we will not be removing. So please make sure that you are coming into the pits at least every 65 minutes. When you come into the pit lane, do not speed. There is obviously some quite harsh game-given penalties for that, which we will also not be removing. So please do take care when coming into the pit lane. If you are a driver entering the pit lane, you must enter from the obviously the white line. In this case, it's a yellow line and it is on the apex of the final corner. So please be aware that of cars that are entering the pit lane, we recommend sticking to the right hand side of the circuit into that corner using an indicator if you have it bound, just to make it clear to cars that are around you that you are going into the pit lane and that you will be slow on the apex of that corner. Please do be careful with that. Obviously, if someone is going into the pit lane, you will need to take a wider line on the final corner. Just leave them the space. You wouldn't want to be caught up in an incident yourself because you're trying to get into the pit lane, so don't have contact with other people, please. Coming out of the pit lane, you are also exiting on the right hand side of the track. It is on a fairly straight section of the track, but it does go into a corner. So again, if you are passing the pit lane and there is someone leaving, please leave them some room on the right hand side of the track. And obviously, if you are leaving the pit lane, don't dive across the circuit to try and get to the other side. It's just not going to help anyone, and it makes you unpredictable. So please keep it predictable, keep it safe, and we should hopefully have no problems. Do not talk in the chat during the qualifying or the race. That is the in-game chat. There are some quite harsh penalties for that, which can leave you disqualified if you do it just 3 times. So please don't do it. It's not worth it, and that goes for qualifying and the race. Use a Discord for communication. That is where the stewards are. That is where we will get replies to you. Repeated use of the chat box, as I said, will reward you with harsh penalties. It goes 5 seconds, drive through, and then disqualification. So just don't do it. It's not worth it. We are racing at Watkins Glen today. Please take the racing here calm, especially during that first lap. I'm going to remind you of yellow flags, if there are any, especially on that first lap. Do not keep your throttle pinned. Watch for cars which are both on the circuit and off the circuit. Slow down if necessary and do not continue your battles. Overtaking is only permitted on cars which are stationary or moving very slowly. Obviously, if there's someone who's spun out, you may overtake them. But don't try sending a dive during the yellow flag section into someone because then the person who's rejoining or the person which is a yellow flag might be in a place that you don't expect and therefore contact his cause. So please do take care in a yellow flag section. And of course, if you are the one causing a yellow flag, you must rejoin it safely, which means not causing anyone to take avoiding action or causing any further contact. So our recommendation is to hold your brakes until it is clear to move off, but other actions such as accelerating off the circuit in a safe place is also perfectly acceptable. So please just use your common sense and we should have no problems. We are racing at Watkins Glen today. Please take the racing here calm, especially on that first lap. I'm going to remind you of yellow flags, if there are any. As I said, do not keep your throttle pinned. Watch for cars which are both on and off the circuit, and do not continue your battles. The race restart will be enforced in a situation where a large amount of cars significantly stranded, damaged, or involved. If there is no restart, that's because the stewards expect the same to happen after a restart. Do not ask for a restart, you will not get one by asking. It is much better to lose one place on the start than to be the cause of race restarts. As if you do cause a race restart, for example, you send a dive down the inside of turn 1 and you do cause a race restart, you will be sent to the pit lane for the next race start. So of course that is quite a harsh penalty that will be given for that, and we will not be lenient on it as well. So please do take care into that first corner and into that first lap of the race. It's a 12-hour race. You have more than enough time to make up your positions rather than on the first lap when everyone is close together. Try your best to not get into an incident today, and if you do, you must do everything in your power to avoid causing further incident. As I said, 9 times out of 10 this is going to be holding your brakes until you're clear to move off, but you may also want to just steer off the circuit, accelerate off the circuit, whatever you want to do, so long as you don't cause further incidents or further people to take avoiding action. A driver being lapped should make every reasonable attempt to allow the lapping driver to pass.
MC 맥날은 또 여기 있다.
Please have patience. Remember, everyone is running their own race. You don't need to get past someone in the immediate second that you become close to them.
또 있네.
Just take some caution. Be wary that there is 12 hours of the race, and remember that everyone is running their own race. It is recommended that a lapping driver should flash their headlights only before making a move, As I said, remember
네.
everyone is running their own race. There's no point in ruining other people's races because you will get penalties for it. Focus on your own races today and you will do well. This race does have donation penalties. As I said at the start, we are fundraising
가봅시다.
for Mencap. So this means that if you donate £5, £10, etc., you can apply
아사님 너무
time penalties,
달리셔야죠.
or you can apply pit lane penalties, or you can even add or remove
오늘은
ballast from your car
같이
or
달리시는
opponent's cars.
분의 이야기를 반영해서
That is available on
리버리가 요모양을 봅니다.
acm-racing.com/Mencap. You can view all of the
리버리
all of the
어때요?
penalty donations that have been on there, what their status is, and what is going to be happening, what the description is. There is a donate button on there as
좋은데?
well,
이
which will
느낌?
take you to the site for donating. If you are donating, please make sure to include which penalty you want to be given and also which car it is from, so that we can keep track. Penalties will be applied on the last 5 minutes of every hour. So, for example, with 11 hours and 5 minutes left, that will be when the first lot of
그래야지.
penalties go through, and so on. Every 6 hours of the race, so from 7 hours remaining to 6 hours remaining, and from 1 hour remaining to the last, for the
아,
end of the
차는
race,
멋있다.
they
야,
will be immediately applied. So
보시고
if you donate, it will be applied as soon as someone sees it. So that
달려보자.
goes for
또
drive-through
카카오톡
penalties, time
열고
penalties, etc. Please be aware that any penalty which does include the pit lane, for example, a drive-through or a stop-go penalty, will be applied once every hour at a maximum. So if you donate twice in an hour for the same car, they will be applied for the next hour. You can also donate to remove the penalties which have been given to you. So, for example,
맞아요,
car 8
맞아요.
gets a 10-second penalty for £8. You can then donate £8 and remove that penalty from car 8. All the rules are on SingGrid. I do recommend having a read of those before heading into the race. And like I said, we are fundraising for Mencap today. It's a very good
아,
cause.
그거
So
까먹었다.
please consider donating and having some fun with this race. Most importantly, let's keep it clean and have some fun. That is what we are here to do. If there's any questions, please do put your hand up or put a message in the driver briefing chat and I can go through it.
찾았다.
And if not,
신
we can head
리버리를
into the
곁들인.
qualifying.
오케이, 드라이브 브리핑도 끝났고 그다음에 일로 넘어가야지. 아, 돌아왔습니다.
오셨군요.
일단은 방 만들어졌고요.
네네.
여기 델타님 초대하겠습니다. 이거 초대 어떻게 하지? 잠깐만, 이거 패스워드를 일단 먼저 만들고 크리에이트를 한 다음에 인바이트 하는 거죠?
저는 모르겠어요.
맞다. 인바이트 다 드렸어요.
예.
멀트 어디 가는 거야?
사람들이 왜 다 안 나가지? 얼마 안 남아서 그런가?
자, 초대 받았습니다.
네, 들어오세요.
네, 초대 받았어요.
오케이. 그냥 퀄리 대충 찍고 그냥 뒤에 출발할까요?
좀 그래도 괜찮을 것 같아요. 안정적으로 가는 게 나을 것 같아서 제 생각도.
오케이. 제가 오늘은 잠 절대 안 자려고 뭘 들고 왔냐면 커피 2개를 들고 왔습니다.
몬스터 큰 거 2캔. 한 캔은 아까 마셨고 지금 한 캔 마시고 있고 나머지 한 캔은 이제 또 나중에 마셔야죠.
오케이. 치킨 하나 사는데 햄버거 살 때 치킨
네.
하나는 나중에 새벽 한 3시, 4시쯤 먹으려고요.
또 하다가 배고프면 차 끌고 편의점 가서 뭐 사와서 먹을까? 쿰척쿰척하면서 이제.
아, 일정 개빡세네. 다음 주 31일 그다음에 2월 1일은 또 이제 거기 되고 있는데 LMU.
LM.
그다음에 또 스키 타러 갔다가 바로 그다음엔 또 IC 레이싱 되고.
저는 치킨을 지금 먹고 있어요.
아, 좋습니다.
있어 먹어.
들어오시면 말씀해주세요. 오프라인인지 온라인인지 한번 확인해볼게요.
잠시만요. 차만 선택하고 들어갈게요. 나도 차가 임지가 아니면 안 들어가지는 걸 이제 알았네. 들어가신 거죠 일단은 서버?
네, 저 달리고 있습니다. 컬리죠.
들어가겠습니다.
들어왔습니다.
오케이.
있어요.
느낌 모르겠다. 벤츠 어떤 느낌이에요?
카메라 바꾼 거.
와, 계속 날아가는데 차가? 이상해.
저는 일단 TC2하고 타니까 그나마 괜찮더라고. 미쿠님 알려주셔가지고.
이건 너무하다, 저 앞에 차. 와! 여기서 날아가? 왜?
이거 바닥이 젖어 있는 느낌인데요?
뭔가 사장님이 안부 전해달래요. 잘 지내시냐고요.
누가요? 누가 안
나사님이요. 너무 탄다. 너무 못 탔고. 이번에 박스에 푸시푸시 갑니다. 와, 너무 못 달리네 나. 이건 아니야.
지금 그립이 그린이구나. 제2능가는 저 친구 또 왔네.
끝까지 쏘고. 제가 그래서 인사했어요. 샵 84 하이 아게인. 근데 답을 안 줘. 끌려. 짜릿짜릿하네. 밀고 가. 파이널 랩. 푸싱.
I know, mate. The fastest laps.
와, 좋았다.